praised Justice Rehnquist's dissent in Roe. You've embraced an approach to substantive due process that would undermine the rights and protections of millions of Americans, from basic protections for LGBT Americans to access to contraception, to health care, and the ability for Americans to love and marry whom they wish. I'm concerned your writings demonstrate a hostility to affirmative action and civil rights. And most importantly, I believe you've repeatedly and enthusiastically embraced an interpretation of presidential power so expansive it could result in a dangerously unaccountable president at the very time when we are most in need of checks and balances. I want to pause for a moment on this last point because the context of your nomination troubles me the most. In reviewing your records, Judge, you've questioned the lawfulness of United States v. Nixon, an historic decision in which a unanimous court said the president had to comply with a grand jury subpoena. You've questioned the correctness of Morrison v. Olson, a 30-year-old precedent holding that Congress can create an independent counsel with the authority to investigate the president, who the president can't just fire on a whim. You've questioned whether a president and his aides should be subject to any civil or criminal investigations while in office. And given these positions about presidential power, which I view as being at one extreme of the record of circuit judges, we have to confront an uncomfortable but important question about whether President Trump may have selected you, Judge Kavanaugh, with an eye towards protecting himself. So, Judge Kavanaugh, I'm going to ask you about these issues as I did when we met in my office, and I expect you to address them. When we spoke, you agreed that we have a shared concern about the legitimacy of the Supreme Court, that it is critical to our system of rule of law. In my view, it is today in jeopardy. You're participating in a process that has featured unprecedented concealment and partisanship around your record. And a few moments ago, Senator Durbin proposed a bold step, which would be for you to support, suspending this hearing until all your records are produced and available to this committee and the American people, and I encourage you to do this. There's also members of both parties who have not stated how they will vote on your nomination, and I urge